Speaker to-do list.
Yes.
You've done it.
And should I start sharing the slides maybe?
Oh, unused coupons are opportunities. Oh, that's so good. Brett. Oh, okay. Yes.
Brad's gonna be in on this project too.
Yes. Sorry, what were you saying? This is about something about the bot, actually. Coupons are off my brain now.
Um, I was gonna share the slideshow.
Oh, perfect.
Can you see it?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Cool.
This is us. We talk a lot. I'm sorry.
So sorry.
I think we do have some newbies here though today. So I'm Christy, and that's Tracy, and we both live here in San Diego.
You
And
okay? You got to give a proper intro. Come on now.
I am a Salesforce architect, and I just collect a lot of stickers.
All true statements.
Yep.
Tracy Hart over here. I'm a Salesforce administrator, a Salesforce fangirl as well. Um, yeah, so we're here today to talk about bots, or make sure at least we could be smarter than one, or they're smarter than us. Christy's going to tell me what the answer is.
I'll tell you, look, chatbots are only as smart as the people who build them.
And you're
Boom.
building it, so it's smarter than me. All right, done. All right.
I, when I found this gift for these slides, I started straight up stalking this lady. So she has, you can follow her on Twitter here, but she has a YouTube channel where she just talks about bots, and bot development, and she does not use Salesforce anything, but we won't hold that against her because all the logic is like sound and transferable. But she's always in these awesome 80s outfits, and I really want these lightning bolt earrings. So that's my
Those are
spiel on
fabulous.
that.
That was good.
um yeah, so bots. Everyone uses bots or just chat as a service channel these days because it gives your customers a really greedy way to talk to you. Like, I want to talk to you now. Let me do it. We're all in for the instant gratification. And then the bot level of that just really lets you weed out who a person actually needs to talk to or not. So Tracy found all of these businesses that are using bots in like unique ways. So we're not going to go through any of them right now, but if you want to just go to their website and try to talk with them and see what their bots are doing. Didn't you say the Sephora one, like what does it do?
Yeah, there's actually some cool ideas in here. Like the Sephora one has a bot that helps you with color matching. The 1-800 flowers one helps you, when you've angered your wife, and gets you those right flowers, those correct flowers really quick. Casper has a bot that I thought was incredibly clever called the Insomnobot 3000. So for all those insomniacs out there, you can talk to Casper's bot, and it's going to talk to you about pop culture, just trying to get you to sleep, or maybe just involve you in
Totally
a really
trying that
intense
tonight.
conversation. H&M does there's like a wardrobe kind of bot. All of that great stuff. Fandango's bot will help you with movie previews. Pizza Hut's will help you get that late night pizza when you've had, one too many and it's the choice between Del Taco or Pizza Hut, one of those things. But we can come back to this slide after, but I do encourage you guys, like, if you don't know where to start with bots, or if you don't know what's a good use case, and how it could possibly be applicable, try one of these out, because they're super fun and entertaining, and it'll get those creative juices flowing.
I think they're good examples too because when when I was setting up our bot, so our use case was uh we were using, I'm just going to stop sharing because I don't like it that I can't see anybody's faces anymore. Now I'm lost. I don't even know what screen I'm on. Okay. Um we were using a third party chat tool, which, sorry, Foxy. Oh my God. All right. Well, listen to Foxy now. We were using this third party chat tool that wasn't giving us a lot of data. It was hard to connect into Salesforce. And so we wanted to start using Salesforce chat. Um, but we needed to be able to like triage chats that are coming in because I don't want to overwhelm our support agents with just spam, basically, or anybody who needs anything that we could solve a simple problem for. So Einstein bots are the Salesforce solution for that, where you can add a chat bot into your chat implementation. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And I have been geeking out over these so hard for, what would you say, like 2 or 3 months now?
Yeah, it feels like easily a quarter. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been like blogging about it nonstop and creating silly things. So the one that we're gonna create today um is basically a bot that plays Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader with someone before transferring the customer to an agent. So I think it's fun to just show that you can do more than just, hey, how can I help you inside of your chat. So let me reshare some screen that I am on.
Hopefully the correct one.
Chatception.
Oh, chatception.
Can you see Trailhead?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I posted this link in the event page too.
And I just posted
Um,
it in chat for you guys.
Perfect. So if you are interested in learning how to build bots and building your own bot, this is the project that I recommend. It takes you through every single step, starting with creating like the permission sets and the embedded deployment in the service cloud settings, and then you can start building your bot. So I will say that if you guys did this before the meeting by chance, we're going to be starting at like step number 2. So the first 2 steps is just prep so that you can create a bot and use it. And that's all we did there. But I definitely recommend this project. It actually only took me, I think, 20 minutes total from start to finish. And when I did it, I already knew what I was doing, but I feel like it would have been pretty fast anyways. So
So normal
not
person, 30
super
minutes.
it's not super time consuming, and you get a lot of information out of it.
Can we stay on this screen for a second? Because
Yep.
I just have a couple questions on it.
Okay.
So with the creation of the Einstein bot, I just want to get a couple things out of the way.
Okay.
One, it's for Service Cloud only, correct?
Yeah. So Einstein bots are included with Service Cloud because chat is included with Service Cloud, and you get, I think it's like 15,000 bot conversations per user per year or something. Like that's it works out to something like that. So there are a certain number of conversations that you get, and then if you exceed that, then you just talk to your account executive and you buy more, whatever.
The Einstein bot, this as part of my already paid for org already. And
Mhm.
in the most basic sense, what am I suggesting a bot as a solution to? Like if I was to bring this to the upper ups and be like, hey, I got this fun idea and it's not just because I want to play with it, what would be that scenario?
Besides just playing with it.
Right, I know we
Um,
have to have another reason.
so if you're actually going to use it for your service org, it is a service channel for customers to be able to contact you to create cases and ask questions about products for for sales or something. It could, well, and support. It could really just be triage. So I'm starting a chat. Let's ask a few preliminary questions to see what this person actually wants to talk about so that we can route it to the right people, either sales or support or a manager or whoever. And then bots could also just solve um, basic things on their own, like maybe someone needs to change their password. The bot could help with that via ScreenFlow or something, or the bot could add products to a cart for you, things like that. Like as long as you can define it, you could probably make the bot do it, as long as they don't have to have a real conversation with a person. So I think that there's a lot of things that the bot could handle to relieve a lot of stress and time from the agents on the back end.
Workload on the agents.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I am bringing this forward to my executives. I'm saying, hey, look, not a cost to you guys, asterisk, just yet. Um, I think that it'll solve this solution. Let me build it and implement it. How am I building it? How long is it taking? yeah, just that's those steps. If you could, I know you were going to walk us through it, but like I want to start as new as possible. Like I am fresh faced and ready, but I know nothing about the bot.
Yeah, so in service setup, well, let me just take you there. Hold on. So if you go into the service setup menu instead of the full setup menu, and then go to view all here and type chat, there's actually this guided setup flow that takes you through basically everything that you need to do to create the chat part of it up until you need to start creating your bots. So all of the chat setup flow is these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 steps right here. And that's all you need to do. So it creates the queues for you, it creates the groups for you, you assign all your users here, it creates the embedded deployment, it creates your chat button, it creates all these different things, which there are, if you don't use the guided setup flow, there are a lot of steps to setting up chat, but this does it all for you. So I recommend starting with this for sure. And then if you need to add on to it later, but doing this guided setup flow maybe takes 7 minutes. I don't know,
Nice.
and only because you have to think of what you want to name stuff. Um, but it's really just clicking next, 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 next. So
Awesome. All right, that's all my questions for now. You can continue.
um, okay, so then once we have our chat set up, so you need to have chat set up because your bot needs somewhere to live. Your bot has to be associated with a chat button. Um, this is the bot screen. So I'm just in the setup menu here. It's called Einstein Bots. To enable bots, all you have to do is toggle this on. It does ask you to agree to terms just because you have that allotted number of bot conversations. So before you enable that in your actual org, talk to whoever's in charge of money and make sure they know you're adding that to your contract. But I found that with the number of users we have, just looking at historical data from that third party chat application we were using, the number provided already was totally fine. So
You guys are like a mid-sized company, so that's saying something. You
yeah,
know about how much they give for free.
yeah, for sure. And we have I don't know, 500 or so users or something. So it was however many bot conversations you get times that many, and that's why we have so many. So um this is our bot, Robot Downey Jr. So let me actually, so Tracy, you asked me something earlier about like how did I actually get started with this? Um, and when I started creating bots, I didn't just jump in and create an awesome bot. When you hit this new button, you actually have two options here. So you can start from scratch and just figure it out on your own, which is also fun. But you can also create this intro template. And this creates all of your starter dialogues for you. It creates a bunch of flows for you that are called in your bot. And this is what I did to start. And I'm not going to go through, well, I guess we could. I'm going to call this Tracy. You can choose a language for your bot. And so you can have,
Robot De Niro.
all right, fine,
Yes.
robot De Niro.
Thank you.
Did I spell De Niro right? I think so. I don't know. Um, and you click next. And then this is going to ask you some questions like, what do you want this bot to do, basically? So we'll just leave these checked for now. It's going to create a menu with these items that people will see. And then you choose an embedded service deployment. I don't want to choose that because I don't want to replace the other one that I'm already working on. And then you hit proceed and it creates everything for you. And I'll show you what it actually creates. So if I click into Robot Downey Jr. here, sorry, Robot De Niro, we'll start on the overview page. So this is the Einstein Bot builder. There's navigation. It all looks very Salesforce-y, kind of like that process builder interface. These are all of the different pages that we can see, but on the overview here, I see the name of my bot. I can see what channels it's associated to. You can toggle on or off if you are requiring an agent to be online in order to talk to your bot. There's a setting for a bot response delay. So this is like, obviously the bot is not actually typing, but sometimes it's off-putting for customers if text just appears on the
If I don't see
screens.
those 3 little dots, I get
Yeah. So this allows you to add a delay so that it's not as scary when things are just like coming at you.
So it makes it feel human? That's whew, okay.
Yeah. um, Log conversations. So you can store the actual bot conversation data, and then you can choose how you want your bot to run. So there is a basic chatbot user, but it's recommended that you create your own user with the permissions necessary to do like what the bot needs to do. And so I used a custom user for our implementation.
I have 2 questions for you, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So in the channel section where it says it requires an agent online in order for the bot to function,
Yeah.
if that is toggled off and somebody asks a question that robot Daniel Jr. can't answer, do we have a way to like funnel that or give him a response that says somebody will be back with you when a real person is online or so, you know?
Yeah, so it'll just tell them that no one's available, and then if you have like an offline case form set up or something, it would give them the option to create a case instead or
Oh,
something,
cool.
so that someone can help them the next day.
And then with the in the settings where it's logging conversations, where does that
Mhm.
get stored?
I'm not actually sure.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't look yet.
Awesome.
This says it's in the events
Oh,
log
the
though.
events log. Okay. Cool, cool.
I've never looked at them, so okay. So let's go to the dialogues, and this is actually the meat of our bot here. So let me actually activate this and you can see what this bot does so far. So if you remember, I said that I left this is basically up until step 2 of that trailhead project. So we've created the bot, we've created all the chat deployments and stuff. So this is the chat deployment that it creates in that project. And this is the button that like a customer would be seeing. And I left all of this the way Trailhead had it too, but this is a really weird pre-chat form. Like you wouldn't necessarily ask people for their email and then another email. This is saying an agent is on its way. So, and this is the delay that you'll see. So you'll notice that these 3 messages here are what we're showing on the screen over here. So this welcome dialog is controlling all of these messages that we're sending to our customer, and they can all be broken out or you can write a paragraph, it doesn't matter. But a dialogue is just what the customer is seeing. It's just like grouping tasks together. So if you think about a conversation that me and Tracy have. We greet each other, and then we talk about M&Ms, and then we make fun of each other for a while, and then we go away. Like each part of the conversation could be organized into a different chat dialogue with its own stuff in it. Um, and then at the end of the dialogue, there's always a next step. And this says, what should we do after we're done with whatever we just put. So you'll see that I have this set as start another dialogue, and I'm going to question 1. And that is our first question here. So if you remember, I wanted to create a bot that is going to ask, are you smarter than a fifth grader questions? And you have to answer them correctly in order to be transferred to a person.
It is.
So
I think banks should adopt this policy because I don't know how many times I get on the phone with a bank and I'm 0 for customer service. 0, 0. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. If you'd like customer service, please press 0 or say 0, 0. You know,
I
like if
think
they
it
did
would
this
also be fun for like an alcohol brand or something. Their bot could ask math questions or something to make sure you're
to
not drunk
determine
while you're
sobriety.
chatting them. Yeah. I think that that would be super fun.
That's innovative. We have a lot of breweries here in San Diego. You should
We
you should
do.
bring it up.
Should go offer our services.
Um,
Uh,
Before you go any further, we actually do have a question from Anish, who says, as far as I remember, we need to define conversation to feed the bot questions and answers. Is there a way we can dump or insert these questions and answers using Excel or some kind of import tool?
not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So,
There,
so that's kind of the painful part of the build.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. But let me show you. I mean, it's not that painful. So let's go to this question one that I have here, and we'll review this, and then we'll build out our other questions. So when we start a new dialogue, these are the options of things that we can add. We can have a message, which is just sending a string. We can ask a question and wait for a response. We can do an action, which is like transferring it or running a flow or calling some Apex, or we could run some rules. And so in this question, we're asking a question and we're running some rules. So for our question, my bot is asking, if I have 5 apples and you have 4 apples, how many more apples do I have? I think this was the first grade question. And so when we ask a question, we need to store the answer that we're getting from the user. So to do that, we set an entity name, and this is really just a data type. So what kind of data are we expecting back from the customer? And then we're going to save that data to a variable, which we can name whatever. I named it question one. After building a bunch of these, I definitely recommend naming your variables something that you actually know what they are instead of I love pizza because they just end up in a long list of variables and then you won't
Oh,
know what goes with what.
got you. Okay, so just to be clear, this kind of reminds me of Flow a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
posing the question that the bot asks first,
Hmm.
and then in these two required fields, I'm telling the bot, hey, when the customer responds to you, you're going to only accept a number format, and you're going to store that number in
In
this
this variable
in this
named
variable.
question one. Yep.
Okay, got you.
Now, there are some additional things that I don't really want to get into, but they're here and I'll show them to you. There's this conversation repair. So, this allows you to put things like if they don't type a number, then I can say, sorry, I didn't understand that. Make sure you format it this way, try again. And you get 2 repair attempts before it just doesn't understand what they're saying and it goes to this confused dialogue and just forwards them automatically to an agent, basically. Um, so that is there.
That's cool. You
It
know,
is pretty cool.
otherwise you could be in an endless loop as a customer, be like, ah,
Yeah, definitely.
okay.
Like what you said, I meant what, zero, zero.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so two attempts essentially.
And then we also have the option here to give them choices, like multiple choice, which we can set dynamically or just a static list, very similar to Flow also. And then you can choose if those are delivered as buttons or like a drop down menu that they can select.
So with that choice type, that would be in the scenarios where you have a bot that's like, hey, how can I help you today? Do you need help with refunds, shipping, general question, or something like that? And that's where you could
Yeah.
put it in the choice type. Okay,
Hmm.
cool, cool.
Yeah, because I feel like until your bot is trained, like until you've been using it for a while, the bot is not going to understand any open text that the customer is just saying. It's just asking questions. It's not going to know what to do. And so giving them choices like that they can choose from so that the bot knows what it is always going to be better.
Got you.
Okay, so we've asked our question and we've said where we're going to store this variable. And now we need to know what are we going to do when the customer answers. So we're going to run these rules. And I'm going to say, if question number one equals one, then I'm going to send a message and say, that's correct, because that's the answer. And then we're going to run another set of rules where if question one does not equal one, then we're going to say, sorry, that's not right. And then I really thought that that should kick them out of the chat and they would have to start all over, but Tracy said they should be able to answer all of the
I
questions.
mean, they should get a rating of how dumb they are at the end of this. You owe the person that.
So at the end of this, then we would want to start another dialogue and go to question 2, but question 2 is not created yet. So let's create it. So up at the top here, we're just going to do a new dialogue and we're going to name it question 2. And I'm not going to give it a description. I didn't actually change anything.
Shame, woman. Best practice, always give it a description. Anywhere in Salesforce.
I don't want to. Okay, so this is our blank dialogue. So then we'll just do what I had already done with question 1. So let's go through it. So we are going to ask a question so that we can store the customer's input. If we just send a message, we won't be looking for any input. We're just going to be saying something and that's the end of it. So I'm going to ask a question. And what's our second question? Have
If
them
your
all
mom
saved.
buys 52 grapes and your dad brings home 34 grapes, how many grapes does your family have? My answer, wine.
That's a good answer.
That better be the right answer.
So now we're going to say what type of data we're looking for. And again, we're looking for a number. So we're going to select number. And then we're going to create a new number variable to save that in. And I'm going to call it question 2 and save. So you see this goes like really quickly. As long as you have a plan for what you're doing, it all comes together really fast. Great, so that's our question. So now we need to add some rules and we're going to add a condition. And our condition is going to say if the answer to number 2 equals, Tracy, what is our 86?
Oh, okay. All right. You're going to go with math. Fine. That's a different route.
Instead of wine. If our number equals 86, then we're going to send a message, but we could do any of these other things. So I could call another dialogue. I could clear that 86 and make them answer it again if I wanted to. I could kick them out of the chat. I could redirect somewhere else. I could send a message. I could change their routing type. So um, this is like if I want to route via skill-based routing instead of queue-based routing, I could set that here.
Oh, that's cool.
I could set another variable. So maybe we have another variable that's a Boolean that's saying like they answered 2 questions right or something. Check. I don't know. Or we could transfer it to a person. We're just going to send a message and we're going to say, yeah, you did it.
Okay, so the if you could scroll up a little bit just so I can
Mm-hmm.
like cement this in my head. So we've told our bot what question to ask. We've
Mm-hmm.
told our bot what to expect in terms of the type, where
Yep.
to store it. And then here in the rules, we're bringing it back to the bot and saying, okay, you've stored it. Now look at that. If it equals this, go down this path. If it doesn't equal this, go down this path.
Right.
Okay, so this is a lot like Flow. Okay.
It is, yeah. So let me add our second rule that says if question 2 does not equal 86, then you are wrong.
So aggressive.
Yes, it is.
Fine. Gosh.
And then we'll want to make this start another dialogue at the end of this to go to question 3, but question 3 is not created yet. So let's save this one. And then we need to go back to our question 1 and have that redirect to question 2 now that it's created.
Oh, okay.
Oops, I closed it. So now at the end of question 1, it's going to start another dialogue, which is question 2. Save. Is this making sense?
Yes. So
I feel
far,
like it makes
I'm with
sense.
you.
Perfect. Okay, so let's do the same thing again. We're going to create a new dialogue. What's our third question.
How many minutes are in a half hour?
Many minutes or a half hour? Description for Tracy.
Sassy woman. But I accept it.
And let's send them a message of encouragement. Hey, you're doing good. You're almost there. See, my bot is so nice.
I mean,
And
he's
now we'll
okay.
ask our question. Oh shoot, I put the question there instead of question 3. My bad.
Your API name's messed up, but that's okay. It's a
I
demo.
know. It doesn't matter now. We've gone too far. So we're going to ask our question again. Again, we're going to set this as a number because that's the data type that we want back. We're going to create a new variable, question 3, because that's what we're doing.
You're basically telling me that in order to be smarter than a fifth grader, I need to know math. This feels real judgy.
Well, so the website that I stole these questions from, they had like several different um, subjects,
Categories?
but I,
Oh,
I
subjects.
only stole the math ones because they were at the top of the page.
Okay, fair.
So now we want to run our rules again. We're going to add a condition and we're going to say question 3 equals, what is this question? 30. We're doing really good here.
While
I'm
you're
going to send a message.
continuing to break this out, this is like looking really simple and awesome for me to set up.
Yep.
But truthfully, like there's a lot of stuff that you had to learn in order to get to this point. And so I guess my question is like from a realistic standpoint, if I were to suggest this at my company and be like, hey, I can do this for you guys, even though I know nothing about it except that I saw it on Trailhead and I came here, what do you think is like, how, or at least for you personally, how much time did you invest yourself before you felt like you personally had a handle on everything there is about Salesforce bots?
Um,
I
that's
know
a
that's a
hard
tough question.
question.
I'm sorry.
Um, I don't know. Like I maybe spent a week learning all the things and just messing around before I actually started building the real one. And I will say that, let me find the tab. There is amazing documentation for
Dang.
Einstein bots. Like they put a lot in here and it's actually truly good documentation.
Here,
Like
I'll
I
grab
don't
that.
think that there was a question I had that was not answered by something in here. It covers everything, which I was really impressed by because sometimes, documentation is kind of lacking. But this is really great,
That's awesome.
seriously.
Okay. So a little bit up personal upfront stuff to feel like an expert before moving into building.
Yeah, and I think too with if you do the templated bot first, like it really gives you a great example to either just use as the starting point for your actual bot or to just like steal things from it and put them in your bot.
All right, that's
So
awesome.
so what we're doing here obviously is super duper basic, but if I wanted to like if someone answered this question, right? I could call a flow. These are the templated ones that are in there, but I could call a flow and maybe in the flow um I do something else. I like look up who they are in the system and see what products of mine they're using and ask them a question about something like that. I
Oh,
don't know.
that'd be
That was a
cool.
really dumb example, but
No,
but
it's not.
you can do way more stuff than just ask questions and get answers. So if you can even do like an object search here. So what all is in this training org, but I can say, if my person, I don't know, if the company equals the person I'm talking to or something, um, or here, like if the contact ID of my case, if the contact ID of my case equals the contact ID of the person who filled out the pre-chat form, then I'm going to return a list of their open cases or something, and I can display that in the bot.
Oh, that'd be
So
super cool.
like there's way more interactive stuff
Yeah.
that we could be doing, and it's all, I mean, for the most part, point and click declarative stuff. So if you especially if you're using Flow, you can also call Apex if you want, um, and have it do whatever. It does need to be invocable Apex so that you can select it and have values returned here in the bot. But that's just using the at invocable tag. Um, so there's lots of cool, more advanced things that you can do than ask math problems, of course.
It's a great first step.
But this is just fun, and I wanted to.
Uh,
um, where are we? This one's gonna be false. It's not equal 30. Um, and I think I'm gonna be mean now. Oh, let's make it send a message first though. So I'm gonna say nope, that's wrong. Goodbye.
oh wow, rude.
And then it's going to end the chat. Isn't that what they say on those game shows? They're like, "You're the weakest link.
You are
Goodbye."
the weakest link. Yes.
I don't know if I've ever actually watched Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? So I don't even know why this idea
Well,
popped
they
in
they
my
don't say
head,
that on
but
You're Smarter Than a Fifth Grader. You're getting too mixed up.
are you sure?
Although
Are you sure?
having the mean lady from the Weakest Link hosting Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, all those kids would be crying.
That would be
Could be a
fun.
show. That could be a show.
I feel like let me activate this and we
Yeah,
can preview it again. Just because it's almost 12:45. That way, if you
yeah.
have any questions and
And
stuff.
we do have a couple. Oh, dang girl, your own form.
On my form. Robot Downey Jr.
Yeah, the three dots do comfort me. I think somebody's talking. It's true.
It's better. I would say that you would want to add a longer time in between because like all these came up in the same second, I think.
True. Okay.
But whatever. Let's see. The answer to this one was 1, and so now it's going to send us to our question 2 because that's what we told it to do. Um, this was 86, I think, but let's
That's
do 85 so we can see our no.
oh wow. Oh, aggressive. Lord.
Oh no, we just saved this one, so I didn't tell question 2 to come here.
Oh,
Let me tell question 2.
good catch.
And you can't edit an active bot, of course. You have to deactivate it. So once you have your bot live, you would push changes via change sets, so that you're not. So it would create a new bot version.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's do it again. I just want to get kicked out because it'll be so fun.
You find joy in the weirdest places.
Yeah, I do. It's not so bad.
I don't know.
But really, I mean, it's been what, like a half an hour since we were actually working on this, and we talked a lot and went really slowly, and we have like a totally functioning bot here.
Yeah,
So
no, it's really cool.
that's correct. We're gonna put the wrong number. That was our encouraging words.
Oh, there. Okay, yeah.
And then we're gonna say that there's 45 minutes and a half an hour.
Wow. And then it just
Goodbye.
kicks you out.
And then
Oh,
and then the chat. That
all
made me
right.
really happy.
You are a sick person. So this is a really cool bot. It's up and functioning, and like you said, it took about 30 minutes of us interrupting each other in between. We do have a couple questions surrounding this that I do want to get into.
Yep.
After I've built this bot, I'm feeling good about it. Can this be packaged and deployed to prod, or is it one of those things like a pick list value where you have to recreate it in prod? Can this be moved over in a change set, or are we signing ourselves up for pain?
So the dumbest thing about this is
Oh,
that yes, you can move the whole bot via change set. However,
oh God.
there has to be one version in production already, which is
What?
like so dumb. So what I did is I just created a bot with the same API name and stuff, didn't do anything to it, and then pushed it from the sandbox. It was very strange. Like why would that even be a thing?
What? Tell me there's an
So
idea on the idea exchange we can upvote, and 10 years from now it'll be there.
I'm sure there probably is. And I don't bother doing looking anymore. But yeah, that was really weird. But the good news is that you can do that. You can just like create a template and then push it over. But
Okay.
yeah, everything else about the bot, you can push through change sets.
And then from Eric, he had to log off, but he's going to watch the recording for this answer. Um, can you justify the upfront commitment in time and say that it saves you 10% of your time or something like that? Will make your company more money, XYZ. Like, how do you, um, with the time commitment that is required in order to get you up to speed and then to build the bot, what is your like best course of action to defend the time?
Hmm. I think it all comes down to data and probably like a Salesforce case study that they would be happy to provide to you. But what we're doing is we had all of the data, of course, from like the previous chat tool we were using. So we know how many chats there were, how long it took agents to handle those. And so now we can compare that to how many chats actually get routed to our agents from the bot, how many were satisfied with answers from the bot as like case deflection. So I don't know if you could necessarily say up front, like you could have a hypothesis like we think this is going to save us whatever, because we know that x number of cases that we get currently are super easy that could have been solved by a bot, or a simple thing, or just sending customers a knowledge article automatically or something. So I think it all comes down to looking at your data, coming up with a hypothesis, and then just planning out how you're going to like monitor that to see if you're successful or not, which I guess is true with any project.
Which, yeah. And I was thinking if it's like if you only have like case data to look at in Salesforce, you could look at what are those low priority cases, which would be something that the bot would answer, like I'm
Hmm.
locked out, I need tracking information, look at the open date and close date of those, and almost
Yeah,
start like a before and after dashboard of like, listen, this is what's taking up their time potentially. And of course there's going to be the naysayers that say, well, they actually closed that case in under 24 hours, they just forgot. It's like, okay, well, regardless, this is the information that we have to work with. My follow-up
for sure.
question to that is, let's say that that's the data that I have access to kind of defend going forward with this, and I'm allowed the go ahead, and now I have the bot. How easy is it to report on this kind of stuff that we're building here?
Yeah, it's super easy. So everything gets dumped into the chat transcript object, and there's actually let me see if I can pull it up real fast. But there's a Salesforce Labs like out of the box dashboard, um,
I love
all
Salesforce
about
Labs.
if it ever loads. Anyways, there's a dashboard. They have one for like all of omnichannel. They have one specific to chat and messages, and then they have I think a couple for just chat. But it would show up there. In addition to that, there's also a Tableau CRM app specific to the Einstein Bot, and not 100% sure on this, but I feel like you can access that even if you don't have Tableau CRM licenses. I would have to check on that though. So it shows like the number of your bot conversations, how many errors, the most used dialogues. So if people are clicking on those options, and then once you start getting into the more advanced pieces of a bot, like actually training it to be smart, it helps you go through like all of the utterances or the things that people are actually saying to your bot, so that you know which other duties you need your bot to perform, or maybe you built some things into your bot that no one ever uses, so maybe you strip those out and have fewer things inside of the bot too. You can see this performance dashboard, which you have to install, and then the event logs here, which I guess would be where that chat data logs that we talked about before. And then there's also the model management tab. So this is where all of the like smart Einstein stuff shows up when you start using those features, and where you would train things. So like this is our customer input from the answer that we gave it. You would be able to categorize this so that if someone without us asking a question said this same phrase, the bot would recognize that and send them to the dialogue that they were trying to get to. And you'll see that on the overview page here. Oh no, on the actual setup page, it shows here that we're not ready to turn on like the actual Einstein stuff yet. You have to have at least 2,500 chat transcripts before you can start using the cool stuff, which is good because it keeps your bot simple and like menu based to start, so that you can have a better understanding of how your customers are going to interact with it before you start adding cool stuff.
This has been awesome. I feel like I learned a lot. I want to just touch on one more thing, because obviously Einstein Bot's a ton of documentation, and you've already done a lot of it. More answers can be found on forceforfun.com, because you have been blogging about it like a bot fangirl for like the past 3 months.
That's true. I'm totally obsessed.
So I'm going to put that in the chat as well. It is written like Christy talks, so that's either good or bad. Um, but maybe that will also get your guys' creative juices flowing, because I know, like, I'm just thinking about all the flows that could be launched, and how like I could grab the customer data and make this bot, even though it's a very simple bot, seem really smart, and put our customers at ease, thinking like, oh, well, yes, those are my open cases. Let's redirect me to that one, or whatnot. That would be super cool stuff. Uh,
Totally.
all right, with that, we are wrapping up today, but there's a couple things that I want to touch on that's coming up. Next month is going to be our Halloween special. Uh, we have we will be wearing costumes, Salesforce related costumes. We encourage you to do the same, because we will probably make you guys share your screens. There are going to be a ton of giveaways. It's going to be a super fun session where we are going to talk about admin horror stories. I've been combing the interwebs for the worst of the worst that we can share and laugh about, and be thankful that didn't happen to us. Or if you do have an admin horror story, please come. Halloween's the time to do it. It's just going to be a super fun session. Next week is Dreamforce. If you have not registered, be sure and register. We'll include that link as well. We will not be hosting a watch party. Christy and I are going to San Francisco to go to Dreamforce, but when we are back, we plan on hosting a post wrap-up Dreamforce session / winter 22 release. So be on the lookout for that event as well. So 2 events coming to us in October. And yeah, great to see you guys again. And we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, right, Christy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to publish those probably today or tomorrow, so that you can
Yes.
register, get them on your calendar.
Yeah, get it on your calendar. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.